Good morning. I cannot think of a better day for Chattanooga and for the entire state of Tennessee than the one we're sharing this morning. My name is Matt Kisper, and I'm the Commissioner of the Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development for the state of Tennessee. Thank you, Senator. Thank you very much. It's my privilege this morning to welcome you to what I believe is one of the most significant economic development announcements I've had the privilege to participate in, not only during my tenure as Commissioner of the Department of Economic and Community Development, but during my years of public service in the state of Tennessee. Before I introduce our guest of honor this morning, I would like to take just a couple of minutes to recognize some of the dignitaries who have gathered with us today in what I hope you will agree is an absolutely wonderful cultural landmark for Chattanooga, the Hunter Museum of American Art. You'll be hearing from some of the members of our congressional delegation in just a few moments, so I will wait for their introductions at that time. But I would like to thank some of our guests who have joined us. From the Hamilton County Legislative Delegation, Representative Gerald McCormick, Senator Bo Watson, Representative Richard Floyd, and Representative Joanne Favors. Thank you. To the news of the day. Since I became Commissioner of the Department of Economic and Community Development in 2003, both Governor Bredesen and I have stressed the idea that economic growth is a partnership between the state, the local community, and the business community. And I have to say this announcement this morning is the result of an excellent partnership we have developed between this administration, the City of Chattanooga, Hamilton County, and the company our next speaker leads. We've worked well together through some very complex and detailed discussions, and the respect I have for him has grown enormously and developed over the last few months into a true friendship. Stefan Jacoby is the President and CEO of Volkswagen Group of America. A native of Hanover, Germany, Stefan began his career with Volkswagen in 1985 with assignments in both Germany and Japan. His rise to top management began in 1995 when he joined the office of the Chairman of the Board of Management for Volkswagen AG, where he led the company's efforts in the Asia-Pacific region and brought about 2 joint ventures in China. Last fall, Stefan was given the responsibility for Volkswagen Group of America, and he began his tenure with a splash by setting an ambitious goal to expand the company's U.S. car sales to 1 million units annually. Let me quickly add the people of Tennessee are going to do their level best to help him achieve that goal. He has also set both himself and Volkswagen apart by establishing sustainability as a defining strategy for his company, and I believe those values are part of what brings him here today. Ladies and gentlemen, won't you please join me in giving a warm Tennessee welcome to the President and CEO of Volkswagen Group of America, Stefan Jacoby.
My speech starts with thank you, Commissioner Matt. I start my speech now with thank you, people from Tennessee and people from Chattanooga, for this very warm welcome. Thank you, Commissioner Matt, for this kind introduction. Thank you also, Governor Bredesen, Senator Corker, Senator Alexander, Representative Wamp, Major Ramsey, and Major Littlefield. Chamber of Commerce Vice President Hamilton, and again, all the good people here in the Hunter Museum for letting us borrow your beautiful building here today. I also want to welcome all the distinguished guests, even the children here. A warm welcome also from my side. The Volkswagen Group is building its U.S. factory in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Wow. Does it feel good to finally be able to say that? I'm imagining it's also good for Tennessee to hear as it is said. I know this announcement has been a long time coming. And on behalf of the whole entire leadership of the Volkswagen Group, I want to extend our sincere appreciation to the state of Tennessee and the city of Chattanooga. And I also want to thank the states of Michigan and Alabama, along with Governors Granholm and Riley, for their support they have given us for selecting actually then finally Tennessee. I am personally very impressed with their strong leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, we did not make our choice lightly. Let me take a moment to explain how we came to our decision. We found an excellent location for our U.S. production facility at Enterprise South. But this decision was about more than just a site. I have always said that ultimately it would be based on something intangible, something in our gut, something, or maybe better, in our hearts. Our final location needed to be compatible with the values and the heritage of Volkswagen, our brands, our employees, and the customer we serve. As we stand in this beautiful room here today and look out across those spectacular mountains and river and enjoy, of course, the warm welcome of the citizen of Tennessee, the intangibles are suddenly very tangible. We agree with our new home state slogan, "This is America as its best." At Volkswagen, we have a similar view of ourselves. We like to think in Germany, Volkswagen is the best. So perhaps another good fit between our company and Tennessee. We have found here in Chattanooga the ideal home to confirm our commitment to America and its drivers. Our U.S. strategy is our top priority, not only for the Volkswagen Group here in the United States, but for our global enterprise as well. Almost a year ago, I outlined a strategic new direction for our company. We are launching new products. We moved our head office to Herndon, Virginia. We streamlined our organization, and in many ways, we hit the restart button. We committed to connecting more with U.S. customers, understanding their needs, and building cars that maintain the Volkswagen soul, but also meet the demands of driving here in the United States. We also made an announcement that we would triple our sales in the United States in the next 10 years to 800,000 Volkswagen cars and 200,000 Audi cars. That actually led some people in the industry to tell us, Volkswagen, get real. Standing in this room today, announcing a $1 billion investment into local economy, about 2,000 new direct jobs will come from across the tri-state area, and looking to begin production of a vehicle designed specifically for the United States, now that is real. But we won't be able to do this on our own. Today, actually, the hard work starts. We have an aggressive plan, and achieving it will not always be easy. There will be good times, and there will be bad times, as like in a marriage. Our success will depend on your ongoing support. And like any good partnerships, we will be best when we are working close together. Of course, the city knows a little about partnership and about vision. Over the past 30 years, you have overcome environmental challenges to become one of the top places to live in this country. You did it by coming together and creating a vision of what Chattanooga could be. And today, you succeeded, successful. Chattanooga's vision of a clean, healthy city and focus on protecting the nature of this area is another, but very important reason that Volkswagen felt home here. Environmental sustainability is one of the Volkswagen Group's core values. And we are very proud to become a part of Chattanooga's vision and environmental stewardship. Thanks to the visionary leadership and people of Chattanooga, we are confident that the values of this area complement our own. Speaking of visionary leaders, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the strong efforts of Chattanooga's respective community leaders. Governor Bredesen and Senator Corker, of course, Senator Alexander and Congressman Wamp, Commissioner Kisper and Vice President Hamilton, and our distinguished mayors, Mayor Ramsey and Mayor Littlefield. You have worked very, very hard, and you made it easy for us to choose Chattanooga. Thank you very, very much. Gentlemen, I want you to know you choose actually well as well. Tennessee can be assured that we will be a very reliable partner in the future. At our production facilities across the globe, whether this is Latin America, Eastern Europe, now Russia and India, China or Asia, and of course at our home in Europe and in Germany, we are invested in the communities, and we call it our home as well. And in the future, we will call Chattanooga as our home as well. We are looking forward for a long-term marriage and a productive partnership between Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Volkswagen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jacoby.
I'm not a doctor. Call me Stefan.
Thank you, Stefan. First, let me begin by saying on behalf of the people of Tennessee, to the management and employees of both Volkswagen AG and the Volkswagen Group of America, to both Dr. Winterkorn and yourself, let me say thank you for your investment, your confidence in our state, your confidence in Chattanooga. I boned up in my German so I could say Danke schön and Willkommen.
Thank you very much.
And now you know the sum total of my German language skills, except for perhaps ordering coffee or something like that. I have a few things I want to say, but as I begin, I just want to say that this morning is a very personal event for me. There's a real sense of some personal closure here. I think many of you may have heard me tell the story about how Andrea and I came to Tennessee a generation ago. I think it was 33 years ago now, in a Volkswagen. A Volkswagen Rabbit with our possessions stuffed in the back. I didn't have a job. Andrea did, and I was going to make my way in Tennessee. And to stand here literally a generation later and as governor, to vote to welcome not the car but the company to Tennessee is a great personal privilege for me, and I thank you all very, very much. Matt spoke earlier about our view that collaboration and the development of real partnerships is a key to any successful economic development effort. And I think anyone who looks closely at this project, and I know many will as the weeks go on here, will understand just how true that is. They have their backs to you down there, but I wish you could see the smiles on Claude Ramsey and Ron Littlefield's faces right now. You see great evidence of the old saying that hard work pays off, and these two gentlemen certainly have done that. Since I became governor, the marketing of Enterprise South has been a real priority for all of us. I believe it was probably Senator Corker who first as mayor brought me over and sort of pointed me at it and told me what to do. A number of pretty sizable companies have looked closely at the site and have understood what a marvelous gem it really is. But it took vision to the point, to bring us to the point that we find ourselves today. And I want to particularly appreciate and thank the vision of community leaders to understand that the old volunteer Army ammunition plant was an asset that could be given new life for the benefit of the entire community. And it took vision on the part of Stefan Jacoby and his team at Volkswagen to see the possibilities surrounding Enterprise South's role in this company's growth in the U.S. market. Since the announcement was first talked about this morning, several people have asked me why Chattanooga, why did Volkswagen decide this was the place to build. Obviously, there's a lot of factors that go into a decision as complex as locating an automobile assembly facility, but I really truly think, and Stefan mentioned it in his speech, that it was values shared by Volkswagen, shared with Chattanooga, shared with the state of Tennessee, that in reality made this the perfect place for them. This is a company, I can tell you from the many conversations we have now had, that's focused on the future. It was interested in locating in a community that really was focused on the future. This is a company with a well-earned reputation for innovation and quality, coming to a community that's become a national model for revitalization and rebirth and its strong quality of life. This is the world's fourth largest automaker, a company that has pioneered the concept of sustainable mobility, that will make a new home in a community which has made a priority of environmental stewardship and finding new uses for historic sites and historic structures. In short, I couldn't think of a better match than Volkswagen and Chattanooga. It isn't just the beauty of the surrounding hills that brings Volkswagen to this community, it's the quality of the people here. Volkswagen is coming here because the company wants the people of Tennessee to bring all their skills to the table, not just with their hands, but with their minds as well. And that's why it's so important that the gains we've made in things like raising standards for education and doing things for our colleges and universities continue. It's why we've quadrupled the amount of money the state spends on worker training over the past 5 years. In a skills economy, our state and certainly Hamilton County and Chattanooga are investing in the skills of their people. Not all the benefits of those investments are as visible as this one, but working together, we've brought more than 145,000 new jobs now to Tennessee and about $21 billion in investment. National Economic Development magazines have called Tennessee the most competitive state in the nation when it comes to attracting new jobs. And, you know, we've done it together. Democrats and Republicans working together to bring real progress to the people of Tennessee. When you look down here and you look at the people who've taken part in this, there's Republicans sitting over here, there are Democrats sitting over here. This was one of those projects that I think was what Tennessee does so well, where there's never any sense other than we were all in this together. We were going to make something happen, and we did. I wish Washington would take note of what Tennessee can accomplish. Before I leave, I do want to say a few words of thanks to some of the people who worked so diligently to make today happen. For Tennessee to be the most competitive state in the nation, it helps to have the best Commissioner of Economic Development in the country. Tennessee is indeed fortunate to have Matt Kisber working on our behalf, and I want to say, I want you to give him a round of applause. There are many, many parents of this success today. It would not have happened without Matt Kisber. Thank you, Matt. I also certainly want to highlight the contributions of our Senate delegation in this effort. Senator Alexander was governor when the automotive industry was essentially born here in the state of Tennessee, and his efforts are still very much proving their success and proving effective today. I don't think anybody could be prouder of Chattanooga today than Senator Bob Corker. Bob and I developed our friendship years ago when he was working in Nashville and I was mayor down there. He has graciously opened his home a couple of times to use as a place to sit down and have the kind of conversations with Volkswagen that we'd hoped to have and the kind of setting that was conducive to that efforts. I'm not sure he expected to read all about it in the newspaper the next day, but we got over that. And Bob, thank you once again for your help and your hospitality and your vision. As I said earlier, however, as I come to the end here, I think the award for the biggest smile of the day go to the next two gentlemen who will be coming to the podium. For a number of years now, Claude Ramsey and Ron Littlefield have been patiently telling us this day would come. I know there's a few people here who may have questioned their sanity every time they said it. I want you to know, as far as I was concerned, their sanity was never in question. Ladies and gentlemen, the mayors of Hamilton County and the city of Chattanooga, and two very happy and successful people today, Claude Ramsey, Ron Littlefield.
They gave me 2 minutes to tell you about 15 years of my life. Stefan, I've never wanted a CEO to hug me like you did this morning. Thank you for your investment in our community and your belief in our community.
Thank you.
Governor, what a partner. I remember the first time Bob Corker and I tried to convince you to build an interchange that Governor Sundquist had started in the planning. You came in, you were a new governor. You made us attend 2 rallies with you that night. And you asked Bob Corker, and Matt Kisber was there, how do you spell interchange? Well, we've got it, thanks to you. And we're moving forward. Oh, what a good day. What a good day. There's a lot of people that I should thank, and I won't be able to because I don't have the time or the memory. But I would tell you that I'm going to single 3 people out who have been behind the scenes, just making things happen over and over and over again. My staff, of course, and Nancy and Steve and Becky. The three of them know who they are. Stefan, you mentioned the young children here. Those are my grandchildren. And 15 years ago, before they were born, we thought about the vision for this community. We thought about how we would take that old site, if we could ever acquire it, and we did, and turn it into good family wage jobs. You have helped my dream come true today. Thank you. Thank you very much. To all those naysayers who said it would never happen.
Here you are.
To a county commission who's been very patient with me as we spent your money to get ready for this day. It took vision, we're here. We don't have to answer that phone anymore. But we thank all of you. Commissioners, thank you. I would say to you, get a good night's sleep. The work is just about to begin. Right, that's true. The people expect us to create jobs and help with a good economy through our new friends from Volkswagen. The leadership of an outstanding governor. Governor. Literally hundreds of people helped this day come true. Hundreds and hundreds of people. And let me introduce to you a partner. I worked with 4 different mayors. Mayor Roberts, Mayor Corker, Mayor Kinsey, and Mayor Littlefield to get to this day.
You wore them all out.
I wore them out.
Wearing me out.
I was beginning to wonder about you. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor of the City of Chattanooga.
Well, I really don't think it gets any better than this. I really don't. Now, Claude has already thanked 3 individuals, and I can underscore that and want to point out the way this whole thing has gone. One of those individuals was a county person, one of those individuals was a city person, and one of those individuals was a state person. This has been a seamless partnership, and that's the way it's going to be with Volkswagen. We have so much in common with Volkswagen, Chattanooga and Volkswagen. Our adherence to sustainability, our seeking environmental excellence, and that's going to be put on display on the world stage in a way that it has never been done before. And our city is going to help you do that. And we thank you for that commitment to excellence and the commitment to our excellence as a city. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, we all have Volkswagen stories. That's one thing that we found in talking about this. And, Governor, if you hadn't mentioned your story, I actually had it written down here, about the governor coming to Tennessee in a Volkswagen Rabbit with all of his worldly possessions and his wife. And then, in the course of this long and winding road, everyone had an opportunity to share their Volkswagen stories. And this brought back memories to me of about 40 years ago when I was newly married and had 2 Volkswagens, a Volkswagen Bug and a Volkswagen Bus. No, I wasn't a hippie, but I did have a bus. And as the family grew, we traveled in those cars, and some of the finest family memories that we still have, and photographs, and just parts of our family are tied to Volkswagen. And so, in the course of this, perhaps in an excess of zeal, as I told President Jacoby, when I was delivering him to the airport. I said, I have promised my wife that if your company comes here, I'll buy her a new Volkswagen. And I am challenging you to make me make good on that promise.
Can bet on it.
Absolutely. She's not here, but I know she's watching on one of those cameras back there, and she's probably recording it. Well, today is about partnerships and the synergies that have transformed our community and the seamless work. And I can tell you, those of you who have been involved in local government for a long time know that there's something of a football rivalry between city and county forces. And when Claude Ramsey said, let's put all of our public works people and equipment out there on the site and see just how much we can get done, because we've got two pretty big construction companies. That was his idea. And in the back of my mind, I thought, a fight will break out. But I can tell you, there has never been anything that warmed my heart more than those two usually highly competitive forces with lots of heavy equipment and big burly guys and some women scattered in there amongst them that worked so well together. They met, they had a meeting every morning at 8 o'clock. They decided what they were going to do. If one piece of equipment ran out of fuel, somebody else fueled it. They didn't ask who's doing what. They just worked together. And having said that, I want to thank my staff who are here and the city council who are over here mainly but somewhat scattered around for your patience as we have worked our way through this. I just really want to thank you because I know it's been tough sometimes explaining to your constituents, no, we're holding out for the best and we think we're on the right road. You've had a lot of pressure. I know. I've been there on the council with you, and I just want to express my appreciation. Thank you. Now it's my privilege and my responsibility to introduce those other partners. We've talked about the state, and we can't say enough good things about the state, and we've talked a little bit about the city and the county, and we will be talking about the private companies that stepped up and helped us through this. But the federal initiative was something the likes of which I have not seen in all of my years working in government and working in development. And so it's my honor to introduce our federal partners, U.S. Senator Lamar Alexander, the former governor who brought the auto industry to Tennessee, U.S. Senator Bob Corker, my predecessor, the mayor who transformed so much of what we see outside these windows today, and U.S. Representative Zach Wamp, a man, as we know, of unbounded energy, and due to his business background, a pretty good deal maker himself. So, gentlemen, if you will come up, we thank you.
Last Friday morning, I was sitting in an energy hearing in Washington, listening to U.S. senators bloviate. When I received a call from Stephen and David and as to what was going to happen today. And I embarrassed myself because I was emotionally overwhelmed. And I just want to thank Volkswagen, Stephen, David, Mike, Greg, all of you who have been involved for showing such faith. You know, we've been through this rodeo before, if you will. This wasn't our first. And I don't think I've ever dealt with people who were more to their word, told us exactly what it was that needed to happen, nor dealt with us in a fair manner. And there's something here in East Tennessee and across this state that we do share in common as it relates to values, and that is keeping our word and doing the things that we say we're going to do. And I want to talk about other values, but I just want to tell you that I truly believe that we have in Volkswagen the very best manufacturing partner that this state and this county and this city could ever have, and I want to thank them so much for being the way they are. You know, this city is known throughout our country, and I come across it all the time in my work today, as being a city that has had a vision. And instead of just having a vision, it has made that vision a reality. But there's been one barrier that we have not been able to break through until today. And that was reestablishing ourselves as the Dynamo of Dixie. That was bringing to Enterprise South's kind of partner that we have brought today. And I know we have young people here. One of my daughters is here. I think that what you've seen this community and this state do together will break us through a barrier that we've never been able to break through until today. And I think that this community has no idea and cannot even imagine what that means for our city and for this state for years to come. It's an incredible happening that has occurred. When I decided not to run for mayor for a second term, one of the things that kept me still considering was what I felt was the unfinished work at Enterprise South. And it's been such an honor for me, a tremendous honor in my present capacity, to work with a team of individuals that, as Ron said, has been seamless to accomplish something that I don't know of a greater event in this community ever in my lifetime. Our governor, at a time when revenues are down, front page of the paper today talked about our state's revenues falling through the floor, made a commitment years ago with the interchange, and then most recently with our state's finances, that we will forever be indebted to him for making. And it took a lot of courage, and it took a lot of leadership on his part and Matt's part to make them happen. And it has been such a pleasure to work with them. Claude Ramsey, I have to tell you, I'm happy for our citizens. I'm happy for the children and grandchildren of our citizens. But there's nobody in this community that I'm happier for today than Claude Ramsey. You know, we've been criticized heavily for hanging on to this vision of what Enterprise South could be. The council members and commissioners know that people have talked to us about dividing it up and doing other things. But Claude has held firm, and I'm so glad that he ran again, and I'm so glad that this has happened under his watch. Ron Littlefield has been his wonderful partner. He kept the faith. They took risk. I guess we would have planted strawberries on the 1,300 acres they cleared. But thanks to the governor and their partnership, they have been an incredible team. And Ron, I'm so happy for you that during your first term as mayor, one of the biggest things that you said you would work on has happened, and we owe you a great deal. Lamar Alexander is the father of the automobile industry in our state. In the meetings that we had, his wisdom, his ability to communicate to Volkswagen about what this community is and what a partnership it would be, I think paid huge dividends, and I thank him so much for the way he leads our state and treats me. And then to Zach Womp, who's been criticized for all of that pork at Enterprise South. I hope all of those people who said those things and talked about our efforts together realize the great high-paying jobs that will be here for generations. Zach, thank you so much for your energy and enthusiasm. I've taken longer than my time, but I want to say one last thing. Our Chamber of Commerce. Our community years ago was divided over how we should go about marketing. Should it be traditional? Should we focus on a major manufacturer? Or should we do other things? And a team was put together that I have to tell you, if you would have seen them. In our final presentation, it was all in German, quite boring for me, but quite interesting for them. But the work they have done on behalf of this community, I promise you, would make you all so proud. And we are indebted to Trevor and everybody. It is those things, though, those intangible things that Stephan talked about that I think close the deal, and that is you, and that is this community, and that is their ability to stand here adjacent to the Hunter Museum, as they did with Dr. Heitzman and others, and see what this community has accomplished together, and to see what it is about. So to all of you who've been a part of making this great city what it is, thank you. To Volkswagen, who shares values with us and will share prosperity to us for years to come, thank you. And certainly again to our governor, thank you for making this happen. Thank you.
Governor President Jacoby, first, thank you for inviting me to participate today. Second, as I've listened to what was said today, I think what President Jacoby has explained to us is that Volkswagen, when translated into American English, means Chattanooga. Mr. Jacoby mentioned marriage. This is, to me, the ideal marriage, Volkswagen and Chattanooga. One of the world's most admired companies and one of America's most livable cities. 30 years ago, Tennessee had almost no automobile jobs. Today, thanks to a whole variety of advantages, which include a right-to-work law, a central location, one of the best four-lane highway systems, effective state and local leadership, and especially today because of Chattanooga's own attractiveness. Tennessee has nearly 30% of its manufacturing jobs are automobile jobs. This decision means, in my opinion, that Tennessee is on its way within a generation to being the #1 state in America in terms of automobile jobs. The decision about the assembly plant is important, but we've seen this before. When the assembly plant arrives, the suppliers and their jobs are not far behind. And I would expect that to be the case once again. Mr. Jacoby, for Volkswagen to pick Chattanooga is no surprise for any of us who have watched this city, this community, lift itself up over the last 30 years as a remarkable and attractive place to live. So to all of you who've had such a major part in that, the citizens of this community, the mayors who we celebrate so much today, including the former mayor, my colleague Bob Corker, and Zach Wamp, who will be coming up next. Congratulations to you from all of the people of Tennessee. And to Mr. Jacoby, thank you for your confidence in us. You'll have it for as long as you want it, a long, long time. And maybe I'm in a position to say this in a way that is a little different than anybody else. To Matt Kisber and especially to Governor Bredesen, thank you for your exceptional leadership.
All right, we're almost finished. The difference between being in Washington and being in Chattanooga is in Chattanooga, people talk for a full hour about something that's really important. I'd much rather be here than there today, especially today. And I too say, Dankeschön, Volkswagen. Dankeschön, Volkswagen. Dankeschön, Volkswagen. There are a lot of happy people here today, but none happier than Nelson Bowers. Because he sells Volkswagens. I've already got my name on the list, but before you leave, you need to see him because we can all do our part. I also want to say, Stefan, that we do share your values. We share your goals and aspirations. We share your dreams, and together we will accomplish those objectives. I have to say, though, at one of those meetings that the governor talked about at Senator Corker's house, our classical pianist, senior senator, former Governor Lamar Alexander, went to the piano as we closed the night to play the Chattanooga Choo Choo. And I asked Stefan today, in the calculation of this decision, exactly where did that rate? And he said 90%. 95%. 95%, he said. And I couldn't help but think, I've lived here 50 years, my whole life, of all the people that have contributed so much to us being here today. Through the years, all the people that have given, all the manufacturers that persevered through the difficult years, all the people that believed, never quit believing, knew that we could do, that we can do, that we are the people that we're destined to be. That we can do great things, that we can pay it forward to the next generation, that this region that was known 100 years ago for illiteracy and poverty could be the place that this premier global manufacturer chose to make the vehicles of the future. That's our destiny. But it took hard work and it took faith. I want to thank all that had anything to do. There's more credit to go around today than there are people in this room, and that's good. Everyone should just relish and cherish this moment as we begin to embark on the rest of our lives, and it's so positive. It gives us the confidence and the encouragement that we need, and we thank you so much, Volkswagen. We thank you. What it means because of manufacturing is the most important. For every one manufacturing job, there are 7 support and service jobs necessary for that one job. That's 14,000 jobs that are created in this region because of these 2,000 manufacturing jobs. This is next generation manufacturing in the heart of this technology corridor. This is generational. As Gerald McCormick told me, this is game changing, not just for this city and for this region, for our state and for our nation. Because of the energy and the environmental challenges of this generation, they meet right here as they succeed in our community. It means so very much to us all. From the elected representatives, I know how this deal was brokered and who did the most, and I thank everyone. But I want to say he was key, and Corker was key, and no elected leader deserves more credit today than Claude Ramsey. His heart and soul has been in this all along. and to represent ComEd, everybody at the chamber who believed, knew that we could do, all the business community that invested and said we could do this, I introduce Trevor Hamilton to close us out. Trevor?
Mr. Jacoby, today is what we call in America a Chamber of Commerce Day. And I feel like we've just won the Super Bowl of economic development for our community. Over the last several years, Chattanooga has been building momentum as we've achieved significant milestones in nearly every area related to the economic progress of our region. Today, we begin to write the next chapter of our community's success story. And like our previous achievements, the Volkswagen project is the result of a public-private partnership in which many different people and organizations came together to realize a shared vision. And I would like to take the opportunity to throw it back to you, the community, and thank you for your unwavering support of Enterprise South, of our community, in pursuit of this project. First, I would like to recognize the Chamber's economic development allies. In addition to our state partners, each of these organizations played a critical role in this project. We could not have won this project without their passionate support and dedication. And if you'll please hold your applause to the end, I'd like to just take a moment to acknowledge those partners that worked tirelessly to see today happen. Barge Wagner, Sumner and Cannon, Chattanooga Gas Company and AGL Resources, the Chattanooga-Hamilton County Air Pollution Control Bureau, the City of Chattanooga staff, including the Chattanooga Works Department, Public Works Department, Chattanooga State Technical Community College, CSX Corporation, Eastside Utility District, EPB, Hamilton County Government, including the Hamilton County Real Property Office, Hamilton County Department of Engineering, the Hamilton County Railroad Authority, the Norfolk Southern Corporation, Oak Ridge National Laboratories, Core Property Sciences, the SIM Center, National Center for Computational Engineering, TVA, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, University of Tennessee, Knoxville, the Oak Ridge National Laboratories, and to my chamber staff, thank you for all your support. Let's give these folks a big round of applause. Our public sector partners worked for years to prepare the way for this project, and when this opportunity presented itself, they pursued it aggressively and effectively, as today's announcement proves. And Governor, Commissioner Kisber, your entire jobs cabinet at the state level is to thank, as well as our state legislators, local government officials, and the federal government, which played a unique role and was a great partner in the redevelopment of Enterprise South. So too our private sector played a key role by investing in a comprehensive approach to job creation that gave us the resources and tools to be able to compete on a global scale for economic development projects such as this. If you'll look at the back of your program, you will find a list of all of our Chattanooga can-do investors, your private sector partners in this community that make economic development happen, as well as a list of organizations there that supported us through special recruitment activities and in-kind contributions and their contributions to this very specific project. And so please join me in recognizing our can-do investors and those that played a special role in helping us bring Volkswagen to Chattanooga. Over the past 7 months, dozens of organizations at the local, state, and federal level have worked odd hours, on short deadlines, holidays, to help us reach this day. And it's evident to me that the work these people have done has gone beyond just a job. I can tell you that this team has truly pursued this project with all their heart and soul, for the overall good of the community and our citizens to make today a reality. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank the families in the room today and the families that are supporting all of the men and women that participated on this project and worked those holidays. Commissioner Kisber, in the final throes of negotiating this deal, is doing it on a family vacation. We've all been there, done that, Commissioner. We thank you, thank your family. Claude, beautiful grandchildren right down front. I've got to call out my wife and my young son, Logan, over here in the corner. Thank you, my family. And to all the other families that have gone to support today to make it happen. And from this day forward, Mr. Jacoby, we dedicate ourselves to partnering with Volkswagen to move you from construction to production as quickly as possible. And we will unify our team with Volkswagen's to ensure long-term success for your company, for our community, and the state of Tennessee. Commissioner Kisber, I'll turn it over to you to close our program out. Commissioner?
Thank you, Trevor, and let me say thank you to everyone who has participated this morning. I'd like to take one last moment to reiterate Trevor's comments about the working relationship that all of us that have been involved in this project have enjoyed, whether it's been with the mayors, the congressional delegation, especially the team at the Chattanooga Chamber, many agencies of state government, and the private sector. It could not have been better. So much of being successful hinges on aligning a team around a common vision. And I can say that the work we've done with Mayor Ramsey and Mayor Littlefield and the people at the Chamber around marketing Enterprise South has been focused on one thing: creating higher skilled, better paying jobs for the people of this community. To Tom Ed Wilson and Trevor Hamilton at the Chamber, we could not have had better partners in this pursuit. We've enjoyed some successes, we've enjoyed some challenges, but we never let those challenges get in the way of our ultimate goal, and I'm pleased to be able that we're all celebrating this event together today. This announcement was preceded by months of discussions and conversations, many of which were led by David Giannakopoulos, Volkswagen's General Counsel. David's right here and is someone I've gotten to know over the past few months. David has become a trusted partner in this effort. I can assure you he served his client well. Sometimes the governor would say he might have been doing it too well. I also want to recognize with David is the team from Staubach and Balch Bingham with whom we've worked over the last few months. It's been a fabulous team, and it's been one that I can say in the many projects I've worked during the last 5.5 years that the conversations were based on honesty, sincerity, and truthfulness. And it has been proven today in the way in which the spirit of what we're celebrating is quite evident. To Mayor Littlefield, you have my congratulations as well. Your value as a partner in this effort cannot be underestimated. And to my old friend Claude Ramsey, I cannot think of the amount of time we have spent together on airplanes, traveling across this country or around the globe, promoting Enterprise South. And your advice and counsel on issues of economic development has been important to me personally and has been an invaluable service to this community. So, Claude, thank you. When we market the state of Tennessee to companies as a business location, there is one thing we believe is a key differentiator between us and every other state with whom we compete. And that is something the governor envisioned as he calls the Jobs Cabinet. That Jobs Cabinet cannot be better represented in the relationship we have between the Department of Economic and Community Development and the Department of Revenue. Because in many states, and I believe any business person here that does business in more than one state will agree, it's economic development's job to sell the company on all the benefits of locating. And then after the decision is made, it's the Revenue Department that gets to play bad cop and tell the company it can't do all the things it was promised. In Tennessee, we operate differently. Economic development and revenue work together. We begin on the front end of a project, and we align our efforts and discussions so that we're a team. And that comes as a shock to many companies. But what we say on the front end, we stand by after the announcement is made. Commissioner Reagan Farr has not only become my colleague and my partner on many projects, he's also my friend. I can assure you, Reagan, that without you being by my side during many of these discussions, as we shared thoughts, we counseled one another, we never would have made it to where we are today. So please accept my thanks for the important role you've played in this project. Ultimately, however, all of us at the state level are tasked with implementing the vision of our governor, Phil Bredesen. His focus from day one on higher skilled, better paying jobs and the elimination of governmental red tape through the creation of the Jobs Cabinet may seem like very simple ideas, but the 145,000 jobs he referred to earlier would not have been possible without his very keen strategic focus. And clearly, we would not be here today without his leadership. Let me say to you, Governor, on behalf of all of us who serve you in this administration, it's a privilege for us to be part of your team. I cannot think of a better way to formally conclude our ceremony today than with that statement. To the members of the news media, the speakers will be taking photos here on the stage for a few minutes, and then Governor Bredesen and Mr. Jacoby and I will head over to the auditorium to answer your questions about today's announcement. So on behalf of everyone here, thank you for being a part of this historic day in Chattanooga.